Amen.
All right, let's get started.
Okay.
All right, and welcome,
Hey.
everybody. This your boy Cornelius Jones, 10 Mina Investing, and I got some company with me. I got some company
Yes.
with me.
Yes.
Yes. Welcome, Valerie. How are you today?
Hi, I'm doing great. I'm awesome. I'm excited to be here. This is my first
Absolutely.
time on your channel. I guess you don't like me
Yes.
this, but that's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna forgive you.
Well, we're definitely glad to have you. Well, Valerie and I are partners in this Cryptex business.
Yes,
And I have a lot of people that ask me a lot of the same questions. And I think this video is going to answer a lot of those questions that I get in my
absolutely.
emails. Some of the questions I'm sure you probably get.
Oh
And
yeah.
right. And so that's
Uh-huh.
the purpose of this video. We hope it reaches out to all those who are interested in all things Cryptex. So I think it's a wonderful opportunity. I love to talk about it on my channel. And with you being involved in Cryptex, first thing I want to ask you, Valerie, is just what has you so interested and excited about Cryptex?
Well, anytime someone tells me that I can be a millionaire in 3 years, 3 years. You
Yeah,
know what? That alone is a wake-up call because there are a lot of investments out there, but there are very few investments that require such a minimum amount with such a big pay. So
yeah,
that to me just makes sense to go ahead and just spend a very little about amount of money and to get a huge payout in the end, and you don't even have to wait 40 years like a retirement
yes,
plan or something like
yes,
that before you can see this money.
yes, absolutely. So, I love XRP.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
when it comes to crypto, there's nothing better, in my opinion, than XRP.
Right.
But I
Mhm.
don't know when XRP is going to reach $10,000. I know it
Right.
will. I believe it
Hmm.
will. I just don't know
Hmm.
when. What I love about
Exactly.
these contracts is that I have a date
Yes,
where
we
I
have an
where I can
actual
expect.
date
Okay,
on the
this
contract
the
that we can
contract.
read.
Yeah, there you go. It is automatically going to pay me out on a specific date.
Mhm.
So that's what I love about it. So I'm securing my future both ways with a particular date that I know is secure, and
Right.
with I know what's going on with XRP.
Yes.
However, but a lot of people, Valerie, would say, that's too good to be true. What you talking about?
Mm.
3 years being a
Yeah.
millionaire. What would you say to somebody who feels that way?
This is one thing that I love to tell people. It
Mm.
takes a whole lot to believe the truth and only a little bit to believe the lie. Like you
Yeah,
would for a
yeah,
lie and run with it. You would go
yeah.
tell everybody all this gossip that you heard about this celebrity and your neighbor down the street and somebody that got kicked out of their school because they was fighting over a boy. You will, and by the time it gets to you, it's already been circulated about 1,000 times, and you're gonna add 1,001 and spread
Exactly,
more lies. It doesn't take
exactly.
much to believe lies. But
At
when it
all.
comes to the truth, the truth is scrutinized with a magnifying glass. Even if it's going to help you, you are
Yes.
still very reluctant to believe the truth. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, there are some scams out there.
There are
There
definitely
are.
some scams.
But we have verifiable proof to show that it is not a scam.
Yes.
So, another thing that happens, unfortunately, is people are mixing up cryptex.to with
Hmm.
cryptex.com or
Yeah.
cryptex.net because
Yeah.
I had someone to forward me an article, and I'm sure they were just doing their due diligence because I'm
Right.
not
Like
going
we
to
all
blame
should.
anybody for doing
Exactly.
that. But if you are going to see an article and just run with it without actually dissecting that article and look at
Exactly.
the sites that is trying to say is saying all of these things, you
Exactly.
should be more careful believing these lies instead of the truth. So someone sent me
100%.
an article and it was like a legit article and it was like from like OFAC, and that's I'm gonna read it on my phone, the Office of
Mhm.
Foreign Assets Control.
Okay.
That's legitimate, right? Yes, that's
Right.
a .gov site and everything.
Right.
But they cited cryptex.net,
Not
not
to.
.to. So she said,
Hmm.
"Oh no," that type of
Hmm.
thing. And so
Hmm.
she basically assumed that it was
Hmm.
talking about .to. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, now she's going to miss out on an
Yeah.
opportunity that could have changed her life.
Yeah. I tell you, but even still, even if you put in cryptex.to in
Mhm.
Google, you'll still find reviews of people who are actually talking about cryptex.to,
Mhm.
but they didn't lose any money.
Right.
They just have a complaint, right?
Hmm.
You know,
Right.
so
Right.
you're never going to find anybody. I haven't found one, and I challenge anyone to find it and show it to me. But
Hmm.
you're not going to find anybody out there that has a complaint that they were supposed to get paid out on this particular date and they didn't.
Right.
We actually have the contrary. We have people who
Absolutely.
have screenshotted, who have shown their payout accounts, that shown the Bitcoin arriving in their trust wallet.
Right.
And so we also have the blockchain record that's totally transparent, right?
Hmm.
So
Yes.
these are
Yes.
all things that make it very, very, very trustworthy to me, especially when I
Absolutely.
see people who have verified come out there and show their account and say, yo, look,
Oh
this is
my
the
gosh.
amount on my
Yes.
account. And then
I've
they
seen people
showed the
show it.
video, boom, okay, now boom.
Hmm.
You see now it's in my,
Hmm.
in my wallet, in my own personal wallet
And the fact that this starts from as simple and as low as $100.
per contract. Insane.
$100 per contract. We will blow $100 going out to eat. We will blow
Instantly.
$100 going to a concert. And that
Instantly.
food and that music did not put money in your pocket.
At all.
But
Not
this
not even a little
will.
bit. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that real quick.
Yes.
Let
Yes.
everybody know what $100 can do for you in 3 years, in five
Oh
years,
my
or in
God.
7 years.
So just one contract for $100 in 3 years will yield $35,000.
Say
Now,
what?
a Roth IRA, CD,
Yeah,
retirement 401k, no one says that I will give you $35,000 in 3 years from $100. No one,
it don't
absolutely no one.
exist. It
And
don't
if you
exist.
want to wait a little bit longer, you will have an even more extraordinary payout.
That's
A
right.
lot of people say, you know what? I'd rather this one because I got to wait a little longer, but you get so much more. So
There you
just
go.
in 5 years, $471,000.
That's crazy.
That's insane. Off of
That's
$100.
literally
That's
insane.
worth finding out. That's worth finding out. That's like,
Because
even if I
we
was
blow a
wrong,
hundred dollars on so many frivolous
$100.
things.
I spent that out going out with my friends the other day, getting some drinks and some
Do you
food.
have
Okay,
exactly,
by myself.
exactly.
And then in my head, I'm like, I could have got a Cryptex contract. Like, dang. That's every time I look at $100 now, that's what I say to
We
myself.
look at $100
That's
different.
$100. Like,
Yeah.
man, that's a Cryptex contract, man. That's $35,000, man. That's $471,000. Like, that's
Yeah,
what I
that's right.
say to myself now.
That's right. Yeah.
So, and then if you buy multiple ones, of course, you
Hmm.
can do the contract and I'm sorry, what's the term
The
I'm looking for?
bundle.
The bundle, yes.
Yes,
You do the
yes.
bundles. So you can do a bundle and you can pay $1,000. $1,000, but they give you five free, so you actually get 15 contracts.
Instead of 10.
That is crazy. Yes,
That's five hundred
instead of 10.
twenty-five thousand
Right.
dollars in
500
3 years.
in 3 years.
So if you want to be a millionaire, buy two bundles.
Right. Right. Exactly.
I
That
guarantee in the last 6 months, everybody who has a job has spent more than $2,000 on
absolutely.
stuff that they,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean?
Absolutely. And you can buy up to three of those. So if
Yeah.
you buy up to three of those, that's $3,000 for 45 contracts. Now 3,000 for 30, because remember, each bundle gives you five
Um,
for free.
it's
So
even
you're
more.
getting 15
15 for free.
free contracts. And
Yes.
that will give you $1.5 million in 3 years.
That's crazy.
3 years. And
That's
that's free
crazy.
money. That's free
Yes,
money on
it's
top of that.
literally free money. 15 free contracts. That's a whole bundle
So
of
now I got to
contracts.
say, how much free money is that? I got to say that, right?
Yeah,
So you got 15 times $35,000. They gave you $525,000.
that's right. That's
That
right.
that is crazy to me.
Boom.
And the
Yeah.
only thing about that is that's not going to be forever. That's going to be
Yeah.
a
We
couple
don't know how
years.
long they're gonna allow
We
that
don't
to be
know
on the
how
platform. That's
long
true.
that
You got to take advantage while
bundle.
you can.
Right. Now, that's not to say that you can't get it, but it just
Absolutely.
means that you won't be able to get the deal of the bundle where you get five
Absolutely.
free, because you're allowed up to 80 contracts.
Correct.
That's the only
Active
thing.
contracts at one
Yes.
time. That's right.
80 active contracts. Exactly. So
That's right.
if you want to buy 80, you can still buy 80, but you spent $8,000,
See,
So
that's what I love about it is because you don't have to buy a bundle right away. You
right.
can just
And
you can just start with
gradually.
$100, and you don't have to do all of them at once. You can do $100 a month,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
Every month, decide I'm just going to keep putting away $100, and in 3 years,
Yes.
starting on that 12th, that 36th month, you're going to start getting the payments of 35,000 each month.
And can you imagine 35,000 every month coming to you?
What if
That's
you did that? What if you
crazy.
did that for your child who
Oh
graduated high
yeah.
school
Oh yeah.
in their sophomore year, right?
Right.
So that by the time they are graduating, right, when
Mm-hmm.
they begin their senior year or when they finish their freshman year, and now
Mm.
when they're graduating high
Boom.
school,
Exactly.
oh, now they're getting $35,000 a month.
Yes.
And
That
they
is
can
crazy.
be launched into whatever it is, their business, their whatever they're
They
excited
will
about,
never
whatever it
have
is
to
they want to
work. They
do.
will never have to work.
We could set these things could be used to set our kids up.
Yeah, they will have a down payment for their house. They will have a car. They will have all of these things, and they don't even have to have a job to do it. Yeah.
So one thing I want to touch on that I
Mhm.
think is very important, and this is just for those people who feel like this is too good to be true. What you have to understand is that we're talking about decentralized finance.
Right. Mhm.
Decentralized finance is different from the traditional rails of finance.
Mhm.
These legacy systems that have, been the dominant systems in these past 10, 15 years,
Right.
the everything is changing to digital and
Mhm.
permissionless and
Mhm.
anonymous.
Yes.
And so because of that, certain institutions are taking advantage of the technology.
Mhm.
And so, what you must understand is that decentralized finance is utilizing a legitimate part of the ecosystem
Mhm.
called staking.
Yes.
When you stake a crypto, you're locking your crypto up on a particular blockchain for maintenance of the blockchain,
Mhm.
gas fees, other things that help the blockchain, run efficiently.
Mhm.
And for those who lock their coins up on the blockchain, you get paid
Mm.
rewards for
Mm.
locking
Mm.
your
Mm.
coins up.
For locking it up.
It's
Yes.
just it's there you get paid interest in the coins you're putting in.
Mhm. Mhm.
People can utilize this, banks can utilize this, institutions
Yes.
can utilize this, anyone can utilize this.
Yes.
So there are banks utilizing these protocols, and they're averaging zero point 0.1 to zero point 0.3 of a percent daily, but that's
Daily. Mhm.
compounded daily. People,
Mhm.
the math is the math. Go to your Excel document and compound a half, a fifth of a percent. Let's just say 0.2% because that's the average.
Mhm.
Take a fifth of 1% and compound that over and over and over, starting with a loan amount of $30,000 or $43,000, because that's what they give you. See
Mhm.
what it comes up to.
Mm.
That
Mm.
41, that 40, $471,000. That's what
Yes.
you get. But guess what the banks and insurance companies got?
Right.
They got double digit
Exactly.
millions,
Yes.
right? Double digit millions. But
And
we
that's why
got,
you're going to get paid because the banks are going to get paid.
that's right. We know
And if
we're
you
going to
don't
get
get
paid
paid, the
because
banks won't
the
get
bank's
paid.
going to get paid. The smart
You already
contract
know.
is going to pay the banks, they pay the insurance companies, they pay Cryptex, they pay each individual contract user. It's all automated, people.
Right.
And so
Right.
when you understand this is a legit part of the crypto system
Mm-hmm.
that a bank is utilizing. They have more capital, right?
Exactly.
But yeah, of course they're staying anonymous. Look at what the SEC is doing, what the SEC has been doing,
Mm-hmm.
right? We don't have crypto legislation yet.
Man, fought
So
us tooth and
a
nail.
company like this could come under a lot of scrutiny, even though they're not scamming, even though they're doing what they say they're going to do. They can
Right.
still come under a lot of scrutiny, and it's not worth the headache. So that's why they stay anonymous, which decentralized
Exactly.
technology allows us the ability to do.
That's so
At the end
wonderful.
of the day, do you really care about who it is? I just care that they're doing what they say they're going to do. At the end of the day,
Hey,
if $471,000
hey,
falls in my account after I only paid $100 for a contract, I don't care
I'm
if
not
it's
gonna
JP
lie.
Morgan, Bank of America, or Toys R Us.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I don't even have to understand all that. You
Yeah,
don't have to understand to make money. Please
you
believe
don't.
it. You really don't. All of that stuff you said, I'm like, uh-huh, uh-huh,
Yeah.
uh-huh. You don't have to understand all that just to make some money. All you gotta say is, "Hey, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do it." All the decentralized and the compounding interest. Some people want to know all of that, but some people say, "What? I'm gonna get how much?" Okay, here you. Okay, got it.
Period. Period. But then there are some people who are intellectual and they're
Right,
just like,
right,
I don't know, I
exactly,
don't understand.
exactly,
What's the tech? I
exactly.
need to understand. We
The
got both
only
worlds.
catch, the only catch is you can't get your money for 3 years.
That's the catch.
That's it. Like, don't think you can
Wow.
put that
How
money in
many?
and you see it building and you see it on the
Why
way
would you want to
going to
take it
that.
out
Right. Well,
if
here's
it's
the thing.
building?
Like, things get rough. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
true.
like you see, it's supposed to grow to 35,000, and you looking at that
Yeah,
20,000. Like, ooh, that looks really good. You have to wait for it to mature, and that's the only thing
absolutely.
people have to realize.
And
And
that's
that's you get
understand,
that
but that's
question a lot.
reasonable. That is a
Yes.
reasonable part of the process. There are people calling it a scam
Right.
because in the middle of the thing, they terminated their own contract. Why would you
Mhm.
do that? And they couldn't pull out the balance. Well, because it didn't mature.
Right.
Just
Right.
because you don't understand the process doesn't make it a scam, or just because you have a
Exactly.
complaint about the company doesn't make it a scam.
Exactly. So for the 5-year contract, I paid $100 and then my balance. And see, the thing is you're buying the smart contract. That's what people have to
Right.
understand. This is allowing you to have this contract. Instantly, day
Absolutely.
one, you get $42,000 in your account. Instantly.
There
And
you go.
every single day that grows and grows and grows and grows. So does that $42,000 look really good to me? Like, ooh, yeah, look at that. But you
Yeah.
can't get it yet. You just
Yes,
have
that's
to
right.
wait. So in 5 years, that's going to turn into $471,000. So
And why would banks just give us a free loan? That's what people want to know. Because banks are in the business of giving loans and making money on their
that's what they
loans.
do.
That's how they make their money.
That's what they
That's
do.
what they're in the business for, giving loans and charging an interest and getting the loan plus the interest
Hmm.
back. They would love to give a
Right.
loan out when they are guaranteed to get the loan paid out via the smart
Hmm.
contract.
Yes, absolutely. It's
So the
beautiful.
banks are making it when you just understand how much incredible money the banks are making from this,
Mhm.
they're not going to make money if they're not doing what they say they're going to do. And our part of that is, we have a portion of that paid out in the contract as well.
Hmm.
So I love it. I love it.
I do too. I'm
All
with it.
right. So
I'll be getting
people,
my bundle in a little while.
I know that's right. If you are ready to purchase some contracts, what you need to do, I want you to go to the link in this video.
Yes.
Valerie's sign up link is in this
Yes,
video.
yes. I'm gonna
Want
help
you
y'all
to
out.
get a contract from Valerie. And
Hmm.
if you want to join Valerie, if you want to promote Cryptex, it's a wonderful opportunity. A wonderful opportunity. 30% on all sales. It's a great opportunity. You get the money instantly.
Hmm.
Valerie will lead you through that as well.
Yes,
So
yes.
sign up for your Cryptex account. The link is all in the description.
Hmm.
Don't wait. Why wait?
Please don't.
Which which
Please
which
don't.
which way now? Which way now? Which
Your
way now?
future you will thank you. It really will.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right. Well, Valerie, we appreciate having you on the channel
Thank you for
today.
having me.
Absolutely, you're very welcome.